Yo, what up, y'all? This your boy Garrett Spencer. How's everybody doing today? I wanted to make this video on something else that came to mind today that I found a part of a retro game that I thought was that I thought was very fun when it came to retro. And that thing that I'm talking about is PC games too, like computer wise games too, like for instance, like on a PC. The type of PC I'm talking about. Um, in the '90s, the MOS DOS games that I remember playing back in the '90s when I was a kid as well. That my granddad used to have, the type of computer my granddad used to have years ago around that time, and had all these cool games on there that I can remember. There was Pinball, God of Thunder, Raptor, uh, Jetpack, Jill of the Jungle, and Nibble, and I think it also had like a Nibbles game where your a snake starts off real small, and as it eats, it keeps on going. And it had like so many good games on there too. I can remember playing like that I could remember playing, and that was actually pretty fun too. PC games, like I said, was PC back in the day was good as well. And like in another part of PC that I'm talking about is on the computer, like the Commodore 64 that I looked up on Facebook yesterday, and I actually joined the page of it. I looked at the Commodore 64. And I don't quite remember playing it. Like it was like a black computer with colored keyboard buttons, and then also the cool part about it when it came to the joystick looked so good, like at arcade. Like the joystick looked nice, and then like had the red buttons on there, and it had like different colored buttons on like the other type of joysticks on it that you could use to connect it to the Commodore 64. That looked good. And see, like I said, and back then, like I said, I was so addicted to video games, like I said, but like I said, I was never against being on a computer too. Like I said, PC games definitely back then was good. I can remember, like I said, back in my elementary school days, where one of my teachers had one of them old computers with the that was similar to like the Commodore 64. And the games also came in big black discs too. I also remember that you put in and then like start playing, and it was pretty fun. It was like a lot of games for it too. One of the games I can remember playing on that computer around my elementary school days was, like I said, it was that Oregon Trail game. And like I said, the only thing I liked about the Oregon Trail game was like just going hunting all the time, just killing it's like shooting animals though. And then like I remember like my teacher's like, yeah, she's like, you gotta do something, you gotta do other stuff too and buy things, you can't just keep going hunting. So that's what I did. So but that was like the only thing I just liked about Oregon Trail, like I said, when it came to just shooting animals though, because I am into shooting games, and I mean that's what that's one of the type of games that I like too. But but like but like that Commodore 64 look cool. Like if I were to like, if this was like back in the if it was like back in the '90s, and I happened to knew somebody who was a gaming nerd who loved video games just as much as I did, and had one of those type of computers along with the Sega Genesis and Nintendos and maybe even a PlayStation and N64. Tell you the truth, I wouldn't even know where to start. Even before PlayStation and N64 came out, or even after that, I probably wouldn't even know where to start. It's like he got a computer. It's like if I knew somebody who also had a computer like that, it's like I don't know. I would just be so excited. I don't know. Maybe I would probably run to the Sega and play that, or if just anything really, if there was like a game the person wanted to show me on the Commodore 64 PC or whatnot, a cool game, I'll probably just go ahead and play that too. I'll probably just go ahead and play that first too. But it's like when it comes to video games, like back then, yeah, I wouldn't know where to start. But like I said, the person wanted to show me a game on the computer. I'll go ahead and play. If I find it cool, I probably get would get addicted to it. Like but like when it came to those Commodore 64s, like the black computers, like with the colored keyboard buttons and like the joysticks. I never really used those I never really used that exact computer. I never even used those joysticks though on that PC. On that PC wise. But when I looked at it, I'm like, man, that looks fun. That is like straight up retro right there. Like that's probably a little better and a little bit more fun than, or probably just as fun as the Atari was. Even though I never played the Atari. But it's like, man, I tell you, man, there was like a whole bunch of throwback retro games that probably came out back then, or that was around, or games that came out from different systems that we just never knew about or never heard of and never played before. And it's just, yeah, this is straight up retro right here. This is video game. This is what video games is about right there. I said, because like I said, retro games is the reason video games started out the way they was in the first place, and what made video games the way they was to begin with, and how they're so successful up until this day. And like I said, even though we got crazy prices going on, but like that's straight up retro right there. Like I was just impressed with that. I'm like, man. But I could also remember though, one time in elementary school, like when I was going to my class, my learning support class. I think it was for no, I don't think it was for math. I went down. I had went in there for something else though. I had a substitute in there. It was me. Yeah, me and my me and this boy that I knew. But I would once in a while I looked over at the computer and I'm thinking. I asked the teacher. I'm like, oh, you think if we finish, could I play on the computer? And like sometimes she'd say yes. Sometimes it was yes. Sometimes it would be like maybe. It all depends though. So sometimes I'd be trying to I'd be like, in my mind just trying to like hurry up, get the work, like hurry up and hopefully we can get the work done before time's up, before it was time for me to go back to my classroom, so that way I could have time to play on the computer, and just go from there. But yeah, those but yeah, like that's that Commodore 64 PC and those MOS DOS PC games and like other PC games that came out after that, whatnot. They nice, man. Even the PC games with the 3D graphics, when it came to sports games, shooting games, or anything like that, nice, very nice. So I think I was just into all types of video games, really. Like I said, game systems and PC, but PC you can't doubt that, man. Like I'm looking at like a couple of games on the Commodore 64, and I'm just like, they look okay. Some of them look okay. And I could also remember back in my preschool, my teacher, he had one of those type of computers, and I could remember him playing a game on the computer. I think it was nap time. It was around nap time, and he was sitting back in his chair, and like he had a joystick, and he was playing the game too. I wasn't sure if it was Pac-Man or if it was or if it was like one of them shooting games or whatever. But yeah, it was around nap time though. So that's the last time I can remember somebody using those joysticks on those type of computers though. But yeah, good stuff. Excuse me. But anyway, y'all, that's all I have for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So y'all know what to do. Leave y'all's comments and thoughts down below. Click that thumbs up. This your boy Gary Spencer. You guys take it easy. I'll see you guys next time. And remember, y'all, once a gamer, always a gamer. Keep on gaming, y'all.